Alright, I have to say, this was probably the most ideal game, ideal win from what you want to see from this Bulls team. And I'm mainly talking about what you got to see from the younger players. I mean, we had been talking just a couple weeks ago when the Bulls were on a big slump where they have lost 8 of their last 9 games. And while you can live with the losses, given the Bulls needed draft positioning in order to keep their pick, but in those losses, you weren't seeing anything great from their young guys. Nothing to get excited about in terms of how they are progressing and developing as players for the future of this team. Like I've said so many times, what good are the losses if you're not seeing anything promising from your young guys? Tonight, though, it was arguably the best game we've seen collectively from all of them, all of the youngsters. And yes, I know it was just the Raptors. I know the Raptors are a rebuilding team as well, but they've been playing much better basketball as of late. They were on a 4-game winning streak going into tonight. They're for the most part healthy now, so yes, I get that you're not going up against a contending team, but before, you weren't even seeing good games, impactful effort on the floor from the young guys as a collective unit, even against some of the worst teams in the NBA. With no Zach LaVine, it gives these young guys more of an opportunity to step up, get some run, and showcase what they can do. You saw a little bit of it in the game against the Celtics with Patrick Williams, who played considerably better with more confidence coming off the bench, and also the same with Matas Buzelis, who had double figures in that game. But you saw that amplified even more so in this game when you saw great games from Pat, Matas, Josh Giddey, Ayo, Kobe, Jalen Smith, even Dalen Terry was putting in some work and making winning plays. I have to start with Patrick Williams, though, because this is a new man you're seeing, a new man coming off the bench. And I know some will say, well, I don't know what you're so excited about. He got demoted and is coming off the bench because he couldn't hang with the starters. Why are you getting excited about a guy who you just paid $90 million and who is at best a reserve in this league? Well, for one, I'll take it at this point just because Pat has been such a disappointment with his play this season. But two, when you see Patrick Williams playing more freely, playing with more confidence, having more opportunities to score, it does make you hope that whenever the Bulls do move on from Vucevic and LaVine, because it will eventually happen, whether it's at the deadline or in the offseason, and then you finally embrace this young group, maybe we will see the side of Patrick Williams in a starting role. I know it might be some wishful thinking, and yes, we have to see a larger sample size of Patrick Williams like this before we can get excited because we've seen these flashes from him before, but since coming off the bench, he's been a completely different player on both ends of the floor. That throwdown dunk on Jakob Poeltl where he stared him down afterwards, are you kidding me? We've never seen Patrick Williams in his entire career give someone the stare down after dunking on them. He's had some good poster dunks here and there throughout his time with the Bulls, but that was the nastiest one, and he let Poeltl know about that. That's the Patrick Williams we need to see, a man who is playing with no fear and doing whatever he can to assert himself on the court. Patrick Williams had 9 rebounds in this game. 9 rebounds. Active hands, moving with the ball, moving and cutting without the ball. 3rd game in a row now, all coming off the bench when he scored in double figures. 11 points, 4 for 11 shooting, 2 for 5 from 3. Yeah, we're probably going to keep seeing Patrick Williams coming off the bench because tonight, going up against a bigger Raptors lineup, Scotty Barnes of the 4, it would have made more sense to start Pat in this instance over 4 guards, so it's pretty clear Billy's going to go with this new lineup of Patrick Williams coming off the bench, which I assume will be also the case even when Zach gets back, as we saw that in the game against the Denver Nuggets. And now, of course, Matas Buzelis. Man has been getting more and more minutes with every passing game, and wouldn't you know it, he's actually looking more and more comfortable out there. Playing with even more confidence, making fewer mistakes, 26 minutes, probably his best game of the season from a productivity standpoint, 12 points, 4 for 8 from shooting, 2 for 4 from 3, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And of course, a team high when he was on the court at plus 18. Just play this kid more, alright? Hell, let him start even. See how he does in the starting unit, experiment a little. This kid is not afraid of anything. And now you're seeing with more time that he's actually impacting winning on the court. Dude, Jalen Smith, man, was on one tonight. I mean, for him, he was on one. 17 minutes, scored 17 points on 7 for 10 shooting, 3 threes, 5 boards. Like I mentioned, Dalen Terry, he had a nice throwdown dunk, driving to the basket on the baseline, 10 points for Dalen, 4 assists. Get this, all of the bench guys were in double figures, 50 points tonight for the Bulls bench in total, all being the young guys. I will say, the one bigger casualty of Buzelis playing a lot better, and now you're having Patrick Williams come off the bench, is Julian Phillips. Is now on the outside of the rotation. Got a DMP tonight, which I can't be too mad at because I would still prefer to see more Matas Buzelis minutes, but you have to find minutes for him too. He needs to be out there as well. And then, of course, Josh Giddey, a much better game for him. 15 points, 6 for 11 shooting, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. Was much better at attacking the basket and finishing in this game. Kobe White, much better game than what we saw in Boston. Hit 5 threes in this one. He was feeling it in the second half, and the Bulls really opened up that lead. He finished the game with 25 points on 9 for 16 shooting to go along with 6 assists. Ayo didn't have the best shooting night, but he was moving the ball around well, getting guys involved. 8 assists in this game. The Bulls actually had 34 assists in this one on 45 made baskets, one of the higher assist percentage games they've had all season. And then also, just 10 turnovers. A great assist to turnover ratio, which the Bulls have struggled with this season because, while they've passed the ball at a much better rate than they have in recent years, they've also been turning it over at a higher rate. Not tonight, though. And then Lonzo, while the numbers don't jump out at you, like I've always said with him, is that you can feel his presence on the court because he's so aware defensively that he can make it challenging for any offense to try and navigate the floor. And it's been great because Lonzo's minutes, that minutes restriction, is continuing to be lifted, and he's getting more minutes on the court. We'll probably see that start to ramp up more and more as the season goes on. And then Nikola Vucevic, helping that trade value out, buddy, because the game against the Celtics was weird, where he got, 9 shots? And that was with no Zach LaVine. Tonight, though, 21 points, was getting to the free throw line. 21 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Man, Bulls shot 50% from the field, 45% from 3. Again, I know it's the Raptors, but they're actually a pretty good defensive team. The Bulls sure had their way with them tonight, though. Anyway, now the Bulls travel over to Detroit for a matinee game on Sunday. Let me know what you guys thought of this game, though. Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.